The latest conflict in the Middle East involves two U.S. allies pitted against each other, the Kurdish regional government and the Iraqi government in Baghdad. The Kurds voted for independence, but Baghdad, Iran, and Turkey all oppose Kurdish freedom. Recently, Iraqi forces, along with Shiite militias backed by Iran, drove the Kurds out of the oil-rich province of Kirkuk. Reports say the two sides have agreed to a ceasefire, but the events of the past week represent a major blow to the Kurdish regional government, a setback for U.S. interests in the region, and a boost for Iran's goal to dominate the Middle East. After the fall of Kirkuk, thousands of Kurds demonstrated outside the U.S. consulate in Erbil. They protested the lack of U.S. response to the Iraqi army and Shiite militias' military campaign against the Kurdish government.
It's an astonishing coup, in a certain sense, by the Iraqi government, supported by the Iranians, a very major blow to the Kurds. We're not quite sure where this will end, but certainly right now the Kurds are in retreat.
Middle East analyst Jonathan Spire explained Iran is the power behind the military campaign of the past several days.
The Iranian role was very prominent and openly declared. That is to say, the leader of the Quds Force of the Revolutionary Guards Corps, General Qasem Soleimani, was in Kirkuk in the days preceding the Iraqi and Iranian military move.
Before the offensive, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told CBN News Iran's goal is to build a Shiite Muslim arc of power in the Middle East.
What they want, from Tehran to Tartus, from Iran to the Mediterranean, they want this Shiite arc to colonize it and control it. And everyone's concerned. Get this, they're trying to import Shiite militias that are now trying to choke the Kurds in Kirkuk.
Because of the close partnership with Iraqi forces and Shiite militias, those militias used U.S. weapons for the offensive against Kirkuk.
And we saw a situation in which the Shia militias were operating the state-of-the-art Abrams tanks, the best US-made tanks in the world, against Kurdish forces who had nothing like the same level of anti-tank capacity. I think from the point of view of the US taxpayer, I wonder how the US taxpayer would feel to know that, his or her hard-earned dollars have basically gone towards equipping a fervently anti-Western Shia Islamist militia force.
The Kurds proved the U.S.'s best ally in the war against ISIS. During the recent referendum for Kurdish independence, retired U.S. General Jay Garner told CBN News how the Kurds can be a vital U.S. ally against Iranian expansion.
Strategically, this is one of the best locations in this part of the Middle East for us to have an ally. And we could have a strong U.S. ally. That's why the Iranians are against us. They don't want a strong U.S. ally on their border, which is what the Kurds are. It would be like a carrier stationed in this part of the Middle East, a U.S. carrier.
One of the few countries to stand with the Kurds has been Israel. CBN News has learned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been calling world leaders to stand with the Kurds. And Israel's intelligence minister said the Kurds must be protected from extermination. Some experts believe how the U.S., the world's only superpower, responds in the next few days and weeks may well determine the future of the Kurdish people.